Welcome back, guys. It's Firoz at Decentralized Chain, bringing you the latest news, reviews and blockchain tech. So today we are going to be reviewing yet another AI related ICO. This certainly seems to be the flavor of the early parts of 2018. There are a number of ICOs competing in this space and the market is slowly getting saturated. But let's have a look at Decentralized Machine Learning and see what it is that they're planning to do within this space as well. So DML are looking to launch a protocol which is designed to expand the reach of untapped private data. The way they plan to do this is run an algorithm on users' devices to ultimately make use of that private data without unleashing that private data, but at the same time taking the outcomes from the algorithm that has been run on the device and providing that for the use of crowdsourced analytics and prediction analytics. So what does that really mean in practice? What is it that they're actually bringing to the market? Well, first of all, if we have a look, we have on-device machine learning without data extraction. So ultimately what that means is that they're planning to run the algorithms on your device without exposing the data or your personal data for that device. So ultimately they will just take the outputs that are generated and the private data stripped away for the use of crowdsource and prediction analytics. The next one is that they're looking at unleashing innovation from the periphery. What that means is that they are looking to create a AI developer community. So similar to what we saw in Effect AI, this is ultimately a marketplace which pretty much promotes or helps promote developers create their AI algorithms, put it on the marketplace, get other organizations to ultimately look at it, test it out and use it, and obviously with an incentive to pay to use it as well. Then we've got connecting idle processing power of billions of devices. So the idea here being is that the algorithms will be run, and I'm assuming here on your mobile devices. So whilst they are idle, they will harness that grid technology of all these devices to run those algorithms, to get that prediction analytics, to get that crowdsourced analytics that they're looking for. Then you've got mass participation in machine learning training. I mean, this is all related. I don't know if you know or you don't know, but when it comes to creating an AI algorithm, it doesn't necessarily just work off the bat. All AI algorithms require learning, and the way they do that is they push data sets out into the market, so human intelligence will then review that data set and then provide the outcomes of that data set or the results from the outcomes into the AI, and the AI will consume that in order to learn, in order to understand what it needs to do, and therefore that's how it evolves. Then you've got multi-blockchain adoption. So the idea here being is that they want to become an agnostic protocol and working across multiple layers of blockchains. And then lastly, returning power to ecosystem owners. Ultimately what that means is that they want to cut out the middleman and provide a direct to business, direct to consumer crowdsource and prediction analytics. At the moment, this type of computational power that's required for crowdsourced analytics and prediction analytics are really only available to the big corporations that have those deep pockets in order to be able to do that. Now let's actually have a look at what this looks like in practice. And what I mean by practice is I've reviewed their white paper, and I do have to say it is one of the better white papers I've seen out there. It's very well thought, very well planned and very well sectioned and very detailed. Now one thing that I really like, and in my line of work I'm a product manager, I run my own product management consultancy and I work with developers, I work with UX individuals to help them bring those ideas, those developments to life. And one of the best ways I find that is certainly starting with a flow diagram that really explains the crux of what it is that we're trying to get out to the market. And one thing that I found in this white paper is really what I think is a great flow diagram. I'm going to go through this flow diagram, and hopefully by the end of it you will understand what it is this project's looking to deliver and how it will deliver that for you. So let's start at the bottom. If we go here, we've got 1A, which is the customer. So here you've got a customer that is looking for a particular type of algorithm that they want to run, or a particular type of prediction analytics that they're looking for. So they go into the marketplace and they have a look at the list. So here you've got the DML platform. Within here you've got the marketplace management. So this is where all the algorithms will be stored. Now remember when we said that they actually wanted to create a community, so for developers to be able to start creating their algorithms, putting it out on the marketplace in order to get it tested, to kind of see what the results are, but ultimately to also to then sell to corporations, to organizations, to individuals who are looking for crowdsource analytics or prediction analytics. And so 1B on the left hand side, you've got the developer section. They've got their go-to marketplace and they submit their algorithm for algorithm validation. Once that's done, it's within the marketplace and therefore it's displayed. People can see exactly what it is that's out there and they can use that. Now, once a customer has chosen a particular type of algorithm that they want to use, it then creates a smart contract on the blockchain. So the smart contract being an exchange of a service. So they will ultimately pay for this particular protocol or for this particular algorithm to be used, and the smart contract will be there to facilitate a trustless transaction. What then happens is then this particular smart contract goes out to the distribution node, okay, and the distribution node will determine the list of eligible users that have the software installed on their devices and are ready to go and really give up that computational power in order to do that. So it will send the algorithms to those devices. The devices, which are going to be step 4 here, which the data owner has, okay, they will receive the encrypted algorithm, they'll run the algorithm, they'll generate the encrypted local machine learning prediction results. Once they've got that, they will then send those results back out to a federated node. So the federated node will act as an aggregator. It will take in all of the results from all the various devices. Just remember that it's not going to be the smart contract reaching out to one user. What you're doing here is you're tapping into the grid of potential thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of users here. So you're getting all of that aggregated data into the federated node at step 5. Once that's come through, it then goes into the reporting node. So the reporting node will build the reports, which will provide the results in a concise, unbiased manner. That then goes back in to the final report. So they have that final report at step 7, which is then provided back to the customer that's looking for that, and then we've got the smart contract there to facilitate that altogether. So as you can see, they've really thought out the entire process, and I'm hoping that you've been able to follow through that process and not get too confused along the way. But to me, this speaks wonders. I mean, I can see exactly what it is that they're trying to do, and frankly, even though I am saying that this place or this particular concept is saturated, the way the white paper has been laid out, it is quite easy to read. It's not, I mean, yes, it's technical, but at the same time, I've been able to pick this up relatively quite quickly and go through some of the core components. I haven't gone through all of it, but I've gone through the gist of it to understand what it is that they're looking to do, and I understand what it is that they're trying to do. If I try and simplify it, they are providing a marketplace where you can go and buy your algorithms. Once you've bought that algorithm, then they're providing the computational power behind that in order to run that algorithm. Then they're providing the reporting facilities behind that in order to present that back to the consumer, and the consumer can then take that away and either use that to further train their AI or use that in terms of their own line of business, in terms of what it is that they want to do from that. So now that we've seen exactly what the product is about, let's move on to the team. So let's just see what the team is like. So when we go into the team, we've got quite a few number of people. We've got Victor Chung. He's been a previous founder of 2 tech companies. They've also won startup awards. He has a background within the full stack web app and smart contract development space, so he's proficient in Solidity, which as we all know is ultimately the programming language on Ethereum to create your smart contracts, to create your dApps, etc, etc. But as you can also see, he does have a significant background within the development space. We've also got Michael Kwok, who is the project leader director. He is also a founder of 2 tech companies with startup awards. I haven't looked into what type of awards they are, but clearly they've mentioned these types of awards, and both of them have had these awards. Once again, well developed, clearly has a background. Now they do look like quite young fellas, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I personally like to invest in teams that at least have some significant presence within that space that they're looking to ultimately broach into, but they have that experience in order to actually run companies. Now here, the blockchain developer and the lead project director clearly have had companies in the past, 2 startups that they've actually run. And then you've got the blockchain and software developer, Jackie Chan. So once again, founding engineer at blockchain consultancy, so Kokian Labs, contributes to MetaMask and Definity, which, as we all know, MetaMask is a great wallet, or well, Ethereum Explorer. Okay, I've got a great video on how to use it. Former software developer at Uber as well, so he certainly has that background. If we go further down, we've got their machine learning engineers, so they certainly have people who understand AI. You've got a number of you've got a couple of AI experts within here. And then likewise, we've got Patrick Sum, system security engineer, so significant, over 20 years of experience within that space. Remember, having your data private is quite key. It's something that they certainly dwell on within their overall white paper, and it is very important that they have someone who can back that up as well. In terms of they've got a labs team, so once again, they've got significant background in AI. They've got additional machine learning engineers and software developers, multiple software developers. So they do have a fairly good team that has a significant amount of knowledge within the space that they're going into. So they're certainly not new to the market. And then as we go down, we've got advisors. These advisors I haven't necessarily heard of myself, but they have experience. They've got machine learning experience, big data analytics experience. We've got Guillaume Hute, 12 years in banking. We've got Michael Adisis, who's got a PhD in machine learning. So these guys clearly know what it is and what market that they're trying to go into. So it does give me that level of confidence that A, they have a team, a well-developed team who know what they're doing, and B, that they brought advisors on board who are also proficient within this space and have had significant time within this space as well, which is obviously key, because these advisors would have built up partnerships. They will be able to unlock doors for the team to become more well known, to grow that awareness, to grow that hype that some of these projects need in order to get out there and be noticed by others. As we go down, we've got blockchain advisor who has previously advised. What have we got here? We've got blockchain advisor. For fuck's sake. Moving on, we have Roderick van der, who's their blockchain advisor. So 20 years within financial market experience, private equity, and obviously involved in crypto asset markets since 2014. So he's certainly been around for a significant portion of the crypto boom. Moving down, we've got machine learning. So they have a number of machine learning advisors. They've got certainly a good couple of blockchain advisors as well. Once again, we've got Stephen Cody Reynolds. So he's facilitated Binance's rapid use. So that's very good. Moving on, he's also been an advisor to Hybrid Block, which is quite a recent ICO, and I have seen pretty much every other pool raising funds for Hybrid ICO, so very well known, as well as head of operations for Propolis. So at the end of the day, the advisors, they've got some great all-round advisors with some significant experience within this space. Now, moving on, let's have a look at their roadmap, because this is key. This is really going to tell you whether if they start raising funds for their ICO, that they're going to be moving forward straight away, or whether it's going to be a steady growth to getting to that all-time high. So we've got February 2016, Google published a research paper on federated learning, which is also good to see because ultimately they have a specific component within their overall protocol that deals with the federated results, so the federated learning that comes across. They've got an AlphaGo beat in Sedol. They've got idea generation, decentralization in machine learning, further publications in Google in April 2017. May 2017, last year, this is when they started the development of proof of concept. Then last year, September, they had the idea generation for the decentralized algorithms. And then we had the white paper released in December, just gone, so 3 months ago. Now, according to this roadmap, they've released their protocol, so their prototype. So this is always good. It's always good to hear if they've actually got a prototype out already, or whether, you know, this is just more of a pie in the sky type of white paper where they're talking about something that they plan to do once they have the funds to do it. So there's mention of a prototype. Now, I was within their Telegram community earlier. I did pose a number of questions around private sales, around coins, but also more importantly around where I could find this prototype that's mentioned within the white paper. Now, it does say February 2018, so that does make me potentially feel that maybe the prototype is not ready yet. I mean, we've just gone into March and I haven't seen anything of the prototype, and certainly this is something that you would shout about if you had that. So either the prototype is imminent or they're running behind on here. Right, so then moving on, in March they've got their token generation event, so they're looking to get their sale off going, and also in terms of that space they are also looking to release their decentralized machine learning algo marketplace. So as you remember, that is one of their key components before they can actually do anything, which is before the customer can go ahead and run these algorithms, they need to be able to choose the algorithm in terms of what it is they want to run. The developers need to be able to post it somewhere as well. So certainly the marketplace is their first stop shop that they need to make sure that they have ready and up and running. And that is due this month. So there's quite a few things happening. And then as we then move down, they're looking April, May to actually get the algo marketplace online. So really from May onwards is when they're really looking to start pushing out what it is that they have within their white paper. June, July, we've got the release of the protocol for Gen 1 Alpha, so that's the learning on device private data. And then as we go on, you know, we've got a significant amount of work ahead of us before they can really have a fully released product. So, you know, July, August, they've got their competition to grow and support developers. So this is quite good. I do like this. The idea is that you put a competition out there, you see what algorithm developers can come up with, and ultimately they use that to draw in hype, to draw in awareness, but more importantly to grow that marketplace and get some of those algorithms out there, to get customers interacting and using that product to really see the real world use case from that. And then as we then move down, we've got December, so you know, taking it to the next level. Ultimately, you know, we've got a long way to go until they're able to deploy exactly what it is that they want to do. But certainly by the end of this year, they should have their Generation 1 DML protocol up and running. So once again, for me, this seems like it could be more of a long hold, mid to long term, because they've got significant milestones coming up. You know, predominantly pretty much every month they've got something happening, so that's always good for the price. It means that the price will continue to move upwards as long as they can bring that rhythm of development, that constant rhythm of churning out new news, ultimately to push the price of that coin up and to make it more usable. And obviously ultimately people are investing in this to make money as well. Let's not kid ourselves, people do invest in this to make money and also to use that. One of the values of the token here is, in order to be able to use this platform, you need to be a token holder. So ultimately the currency, the DML token, will be used to pay for services, to buy services. That's what the main fundamental use case of that token will be. Right, so now let's have a look at the token metrics. So is this something worthwhile investing in? Are the metrics good for us to invest in? So if we move over, we have token distribution. Right, so what do we have here? We have a total of 330 million tokens for distribution. I like the sound of that. It's a nice cap. It will certainly give you a good increase. The multipliers will be certainly there, assuming that the project can deliver. Okay, in terms of how that's split, at first when I looked at the 36, I thought that's a bit low actually in terms of the token sale, but when I look at it further, in fact what they've got is just over 54% available as part of the token sale. They've got 36% that will be in the token sale. They've got 9.9% of those tokens which will basically be there to ultimately go into the ecosystem. The idea there being that there is a pool, there is some liquidity in order to start encouraging those developers to use the service, to get the service out there. So that's kind of more generating and used for that hype and drawing in the community in the first place. And then they've got another 8.3% that they're giving out as debug, development, protocol upgrades, bonuses for the developer community. So that basically means that those who are willing to use the system, willing to test the system, make the system better and evolve it through the use of customer insights. And there's no better insight than customer insight really when it comes to evolving your products. The customer is key. You know, they are awarded for that portion. Then you've got 2.5% for PR, you've got 8.8% around strategic, you've got 15% in reserves, and 19.5% for the team. So far, I like the token metrics. They work really well. This certainly is not a money grab at all. Now, you might be thinking, well, what is the hard cap? What is the price of all of this? You know, 330 million, what is it that they're looking to raise? So if we move over to their token metrics announcement on Medium, they've got, it's going to be an ERC20 token on the Ethereum network. So the only way you'll be able to contribute is from an Ethereum wallet, not from an exchange, guys, not from an exchange. Hard cap is 28,000 Ethereum. If we currently go by what Ethereum is trading at now, in CoinMarketCap, so that's 860, that will give us roughly about just over $24 million. That's not a bad cap, hard cap to have at all. So I do like that. And then as I said before, 54% of that is going to be available for the users or for those who want to buy. So that's not bad at all. Now, it appears that there was an early whitelist last week on the 24th, whereby those who registered for the early whitelist were able to get a 10% discount on the token price. So I like that as well. Then following the following day, it's been opened up for the main whitelist registration. So from the 25th of Feb, as far as I'm aware, they are still accepting whitelist registrations at the time of creating this video. So get in if you want or are interested in this project, or at least register. So one Ethereum will get you 3,780 DML tokens. So overall, I really like this. And what I also like here is this piece here. Vesting, team vesting. So the tokens being awarded to the team, which make up the, just say under 20%, will be in a vesting period. So it will not be unlocked. It will be released to them over the course of 3 years. So overall, I really like the token metrics here. They thought about it long and hard, and you know, it certainly is something that's appealing overall. Now let's have a look at the hype behind it. So, you know, there isn't much that I've heard around DML in quite a few of the Telegram groups that I've been listening in on. So if we kind of have a look, we've got around just over 1,000 followers on Twitter. The Reddit post has around 72 subscribers. So, it's very under the radar in my opinion, this particular ICO. And then if we go into their Telegram group, it's currently at around 9,326. So certainly the awareness is quite low and there isn't much hype around it. So moving on, just to kind of wrap it up and summarize this ICO, I like to go through a radar chart. Now personally, I don't like to ultimately put a percentage value against an ICO in terms of whether I'm going to invest or not invest. What I like to do is look at a radar chart, look at their good points, look at their bad points, and use that as a way to gauge whether the ICO can pull through and become successful. So if we kind of have a look, and starting with the project, I've given it a 3. This particular space within the AI part for ICOs is heavily saturated. There are a number of ICOs coming out, certainly trying to compete in this space. So for project, I've given it a 3. It's an average project, but we'll see where it goes. I do like the white paper, the way it's been written, the way it's been articulated, the way it's been visualized. It really makes it easy for those who are not that tech savvy to be able to pick it up and understand what it is that they're trying to do within this space. The team, I've given it a 4. They all seem to have a very strong background. All of them, they've got their blockchain developers, they've got their AI developers, they've got the machine learning guys, they've got the founders, the main project leads who have also run companies before in the past. So I really like that. The advisors, I've given it a 4 as well. Once again, they've brought strong advisors in board with the same background as them as well. Those who have been in that space for a long time. So hopefully those advisors can open up doors for them, meetings, partnerships, awareness, and bring some of that hype. For the prototype, I've given it a 0. Basically, there is mention of a prototype, but I don't think it's ready yet. I did ask a few questions in Telegram about a good few hours ago. I haven't had any responses so far. So once again, unless that changes and they do have a prototype, then I'll be willing to push that out, because then obviously it gives you a bit of confidence in terms of that they're able to deliver what they're looking or setting out to deliver. Moving on, we've got token metrics. I gave it a 4. I really liked the token metrics. I like the hard cap. I liked the way that they were going about. It certainly isn't a money grab, and the way they're distributing the tokens as well is really well thought out. Even though 36% is going out in the public sale, the remainder is still for the public. The idea is that those who are interested in the project will then continue to contribute into the project, contribute into the ecosystem, and be rewarded those tokens that they've set aside for those particular activities. The hype, I've given it a 2. Certainly this is under the radar in my opinion. There isn't that much in terms of Twitter following, there isn't that much in terms of Reddit, and there isn't that many in terms of being in the Telegram group. 9,000 certainly is a low number. Now, who knows, with the whitelist now open and drumming up more traffic, it may well push this up. And ultimately, you could quite see this becoming a much more fuller star if they can get the prototype, if they can get some more awareness within the project. I think they are on the road to rolling out something pretty decent, but I need to see the prototype beforehand before I can actually say that they are going to do that. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed yet another one of my ICO reviews. If you have, please give it a like. If not, please leave a comment as to what it is that I can do better the next time for you. If you agree, disagree with anything, please leave some comments below. It's always good to get a bit of conversation flowing. And most importantly, as I do plan to start doing ICO reviews on a more regular basis, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get that message straight away and you can see those ICOs as I upload them. ICOs are time critical, so it may well be that if a particular ICO has enough hype behind it, the whitelist could be closed due to being oversubscribed. Anyway guys, see you around on the next episode.